She said it like she was asking for salt, not a divorce, not even a real goodbye, just space. As if I were clutter, as if 40 years of love could be wiped clean with a damp rag and a soft voice. But I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I took notes. And when I finally left, I left without a sound but with everything that mattered. She said it like she was asking for the remote, not love, not loss, just space. As if I was cluttering her air, an inconvenience, something sticky on the counter she needed to wipe off to feel clean again. I was in the kitchen, still holding the crooked mug our grandson made last Christmas, blue streaks, green blobs, lopsided like his handwriting, still warm with coffee. I remembered how hard he tried to get Grandpa right, tongue poking out in concentration. Claire stood at the sink, rinsing a plate she never ate from, her voice soft, too soft. That performance softness people wear when they've already left, but still want to seem polite. I just need some space, Jack, that's all. She didn't look at me, just kept scrubbing. Not to play her guilt. I didn't answer, not right away. I recognized the script. I'd heard it from clients years ago when I ran my crew, same syrupy. Delivery before they pulled out of a contract. It's not you, it's just timing. They meant, I'm gone, just not so I could leave clean. So I nodded, sure. You don't scream at termites. You don't wave hammers. You call quietly, then get the frame when no one's watching. She walked out, left the plate. I sat, I waited. Then I reached behind the bread box, pulled out my old leather field book once used for measurements, materials, punch lists, now, quiet plans, things. I didn't want to say aloud. New page, dated, double quotes. Claire asked for space. It wasn't a question. It was a cue, underlined. Begin extraction. Don't broadcast. That night she lay next to me, bathed in her phone's glow, scrolling through pastel quotes about healing. Didn't even glance at me. I didn't speak, didn't sigh, just turned, reached for the notebook, and added one more line. Claire is now a variable to remove. I started with the essentials. The passport, moved to the floor safe beneath the workbench. The photo albums, scanned and shipped to Josh with a note. For Nolan someday, stored dry. The accounts, divided, rerouted. The property, trust secured, with Josh's beneficiary. She didn't notice. She was busy branding her grief as growth on Instagram. No speeches, no confrontations, just subtraction. The tools went next. One socket set, one drill, one hammer at a time. Shelves emptied slowly. She never asked. She thought I was spiraling. I wasn't. I was clearing out the bones of a house she no longer lived in. I gave Josh a key to a mailbox to states over. Don't ask. Just keep it safe. He looked at me, nodded. The kind of nod that says, I know what she did. I see what you're doing. That mailbox, that was freedom. Lease sign. New town, new name. One bedroom with a workshop. Piece. I disconnected the rest. Amazon, Netflix. Bills she never thought to check. Gone. Like I was fading from the background, one charge at a time. By the time the leaves changed, I had already left in every way, but legally. This wasn't vengeance. It was precision work, like gutting rot behind. A wall. Mask on, gloves on, no feelings, just removal. I left one thing, Nolan's mug, still on the shelf above the coffee maker. Let her stare at it every morning, and guess when I stopped drinking here. She noticed the recliner first, gone, just carpet imprints and a faint circle from a coaster. She stood there, blinking, not sad, just lost, like a bird returning to find the tree missing. Still didn't ask. Later, in the garage, she grabbed a towel and reached for her gardening gear. Half the wall was empty, tool chest, gone, drill, gone, just hook swinging in air. Still nothing from her, not a word. She must have thought I was brooding. Nursing wounds. No. I was dismantling the house she abandoned. She called Josh 2 days later, asked if he'd heard from me. He said he needed space too. Josh replied. Then hung up. Just like I taught him. Don't answer questions from people who chose silence first. The Chevy disappeared next. Old, reliable, like me, gone from the driveway before breakfast. No keys, no note, just a missing sound in her routine. Meanwhile, I was 3 states away, walking morning paths, coffee in hand. Nolan on the phone, rambling about his science project, aliens, and why dogs don't wear shoes. He never asked about Claire. I didn't bring her up either. I built a routine without her, not as payback. As survival. You don't rebuild by waiting. In the debris, you clear it. You pour new concrete. Claire filled the silence with stories. He's going through something, she told her friends. He's dramatic. No, Claire. Drama is loud exits, slammed doors, crying in kitchens. This was a razor. She stayed in that house like nothing changed, hosting wine nights, posting porch photos with fake smiles. But the cracks started showing, not in the walls, in her eyes, in the quiet, in the realization that silence wasn't confusion. It was control. By the time she realized how little of me was left, I was long gone. Different name, different address, different air. The lawyer's office was warm, soft lights, leather chairs that didn't squeak. The kind of room where final things get written down. Linda Jacobs, sharp as ever, opened her notebook. Tell me what you want. No drama, just done. And we did. Every document rewritten, every account redirected, every escape had sealed. When it came time to choose a proxy, I chose Elise, my daughter-in-law. Claire never liked her, said she was blunt, too honest, didn't appreciate being told to stop interrupting Nolan mid-speech. That's exactly why I picked her. Because Elise doesn't get manipulated by tears and perfume. She holds the line. She didn't cry when she left, didn't scream, didn't even flinch, just said she needed space, like I was furniture crowding a room. I named Linda the firewall, gave her Claire's name and said, she comes begging, let her feel what exile tastes like. Linda nodded, sharp, unblinking. That afternoon, I stepped out of the legal office feeling weightless, not from grief, but from the clean cut of control returning to my hands. Because this wasn't just the removal of Claire. It was the demolition of the man who once made excuses for being dismissed in his own life. Back at the house, Claire was still curating fiction, hosting another glass-linking girls' night, posting another sun-drenched photo, spinning a caption about me time and inner healing. She didn't know she was already legally erased. No banking rights, no medical say, no more claim to a title she'd taken for granted. Her name still clung to a few bills, but ghosts don't pay mortgages, and they don't get warnings. Before the lights go out, Josh called me. She's still telling people you're on a break. I said, let her spin. Her version ends in silence. He paused. Elise said she won't answer unless you say the word. Good, I said. That's why she holds the keys now. That evening, I sat lakeside, pen in hand. Trust documents before me. Signatures reassigned. Authority rerouted. Claire removed. Elise empowered. The last phase ready. The moon hung low. The ink dried slow. Claire always confused stillness for uncertainty. But men like me don't threaten. We replace. Quietly. She found out at a boutique. Some ridiculous, overpriced glass sculpture caught her eye like a trophy. For surviving her own drama, she picked it up like it meant something. Swiped the shared black card. Declined. Again. Declined. The smile on the clerk's face began to peel. She laughed it off. Bank issue. Then tried her own card. The one tied to freelance invoices. Always late. Always small. Barely worked. She left with the sculpture in a bag. But something inside her cracked as she walked to the car. Opened her banking app. Denied. Another. Frozen. No balances. No history. Nothing shared. She called. Once. Twice. 6 times. Straight to voicemail. No tone. No anger. Just silence. Default message. Leave one. She did in single quotes. Instead. A text. Jack, what's going on? I can't access anything. Please call me. Then. This isn't funny. Double quotes. Silence. Hours later. She received in the mail. All inquiries may be directed to counsel. J. No warmth. No explanation. Just the new rules. While she panicked, I was in the cabin behind the house, sanding down cherrywood for Nolan's toy chest. Music low, coffee hot, sawdust in the air. Something real being made by hand, not posted, not filtered, just built. The last. Josh checked in. She tried using me. What did you say? Told her I don't speak without legal present. Perfect. Because this wasn't revenge. I didn't need her to cry, or beg, or perform. This was reclamation of time, dignity, peace. The kind of peace earned by years of swallowing someone else's storms just to keep the weather calm. She asked for air. So I gave her the vacuum of space. She didn't realize what silence meant until the calls started bouncing. Morning came. 7:13 a.m. Her number lit up the screen. I sipped coffee. Second call. Third. Fourth. was in desperation. 5th, I silenced it. 6th went to voicemail. 7th, Elise picked up. Hello, Claire. A broken voice answered. Elise, thank God. I need to talk to Jack. My mom stroke. He loved her. Please. Elise didn't rush. Didn't crack. She simply said, Jack asked not to be contacted. A pause. No. He wouldn't say that. Not for this, Elise repeated, steady as a metronome. He asked not to be disturbed. Click. No war. No insult. Just locked doors with your name no longer on them. At the hospital. Josh was already sitting beside her mother's bed. Claire asked, Where's your dad? Josh didn't even glance up, just played the voicemail. You've reached Jack Lennox. If this is an emergency, contact my attorney. If it's personal, you left. I didn't chase. I rebuilt. She stared at the phone like it had insulted her bloodline. But there were no more open doors, only the sound of them shutting behind her. Back home, I finished Nolan's toy chest. Signed the base, for Nolan, from Grandpa. No shortcuts. Josh texted. She broke down in the parking lot. Wasn't for her mom. It was for her. I left it on read. Some emergencies don't deserve a callback. A few days later, a thick envelope arrived. No return label, just her name in my lettering. The kind you use when you're designing things meant to hold. Wait. She opened it at the same old kitchen table we bought in '98. Inside, notarized documents, new trust terms, proxy transfers, and a transcript, her own voice begging for contact. Beneath it, a photo, me and Nolan by the lake, barefoot, laughing, coffee mug in my hand. The one he painted for Christmas. On the back, a note in Elise's handwriting. We've got him. She read it again, then again, hands trembling, because now the silence had shape, ink, paper, evidence, and her name. Nowhere. Her title wasn't just gone. It had been overwritten on the final page. A letter. Claire, you asked for distance. I honored that. You didn't misplace me. You replaced me. You said your truth softly. So I responded with finality. This is an anger. This is completion. J. No fury between the lines. Just surgical closure. She folded the papers back into the envelope like maybe, just maybe, she could undo what had already taken root. But it was too late. She called Elise again. Straight to voicemail. Called Josh. No reply. Tried me. I don't answer echoes. That photo she saw. It's framed in my cabin now. Sits beside the toolbox Nolan and I used during spring break. Every morning, when I pour my coffee, I look at it and remember what it took to carve peace from chaos. She dialed one more number, Elise's old landline, buried in some forgotten email thread. To rings. This is Elise. No warmth. No frost. Just steel. Elise, please. I need to talk to him. Just once. Long pause. You asked for distance, Elise said. He filled it with people who don't leave. I'm still his wife, Claire whispered. No, Elise said. Not harsh. Just final. You were. Then, you weren't. Claire stuttered. He was my person, Elise answered gently. He was your habit. You were never his horizon. He just hadn't realized until you told him to step away. Double quotes. Click. No screaming. No slam. Just a line. Gone still. Later that night, Claire sat on the porch, wine glass in hand, staring out at the yard where I used to mow perfect lines. Where I built the deck. Where I drank coffee from a crooked mug made by a little boy who still remembers the man who stayed. Then came a voicemail ping. From Josh. Grandpa says you don't get to speak anymore. He says silence isn't revenge. It's peace. And peace doesn't unlock old doors. She stared at the phone. Inside the house, everything was exactly the same. Furniture untouched. Rugs in place. Coffee maker humming. But she was a tenant now. Not a wife. Not a grandmother. Just a name on expired envelopes. The man she thought would always wait had already gone. Not with suitcases, but with finality. Subscribe for more stories of quiet strength, ruthless peace, and calculated exits. Because next time, the silence won't be merciful.